Hey guys, welcome back to part 13 of the Aesthetic Sketchbook series. Today I'm taking a short break from the dead flowers. I'll be painting a rather cute still life piece today with cardboard figures and Amazon boxes. I think I've mentioned in one of my earlier videos that I've been trying to practice drawing, so still life is always a good place to start. First, I'm going to sketch out the cardboard figures with a pencil. This is quite a straightforward illustration, so it doesn't take too long. Add a little movement to the subject by tilting one forward and both of them facing each other diagonally. Add a little flower in the middle, and next I'm going to paint it as if I'm coloring it, but just a thin layer to map out the colors. For the cardboard boxes, I'm using raw sienna and yellow ochre and raw umber for the darker shade. I'm painting the boxes at the moment and just tidying out the lines and shape with the paintbrush. I wanted a bit of shadows in the background so it doesn't look that 2D. I'm using brilliant purple mixed with raw umber for this. Keeping the rest of the wall plain with ivory white and pale grey. This was actually quite fun to paint. It has a very nostalgic element to it. I'm also trying to lengthen my voiceovers into a more tutorial format, which I'm still trying to get the hang of it, hence bear with me for a few videos or so whilst I practice. Now that the first layer is done, I'm going in with the second layer and just kind of smoothing out all the paint. Most of the colors are kind of the same, but except for the shading of it, and I'm also adding a bit of shadows with Payne's Grey. I think this is when the painting starts to come a little bit to life. The shadows really makes it pop. Throughout this process, I'm using a size 00 brush. I find that the finer the brush tip, the more refined the brush strokes look and the surface of the paint looks a little bit more polished. I also added a bit of highlights with Naples yellow for the cardboard boxes just to give it that extra dimension. So repeat for the other cardboard box as well and add in the shadows and the highlights. I outlined the edges of the boxes a little bit just to give it a bit more definition, otherwise it's kind of like the same color and you can't really see the details. And just add a bit of shadows in between, and then we'll move on to the next step shortly. So this part is quite straightforward. I'm just painting the walls in pale grey and ivory white. So this part here, I actually wanted to add the shadows behind the box that's holding the rose, but it looks a little bit messy, so I've decided to paint over it. I'm just working on the floor right now and adding a little bit more shadows. I've been saying shadows a lot, but anyway, I'm using Payne's Grey and a little bit of purple, and then here I'm just having this reflection of some beams so that it doesn't look that empty. I'm also using brilliant purple mixed with raw umber, but I'm also adding ivory white around it so the color doesn't look as harsh. I think this was the part that I enjoyed the most, so I'm just adding like little features on the box, kind of like 2 circles and a triangle mouth and the Amazon sign. So this goes for both. I think this is actually my favorite part of the whole painting. You know, it looks kind of cute, but it also looks a bit relatable. My handwriting isn't that great, so I'm trying my very best, but the font doesn't look similar, but you get the point. For this, I'm actually using a brush size 000 to get that very thin font. And yeah, another one over here, and we're about to be finished. Okay, for the finishing touch, I always like to add a dash of red to make it pop. Originally, this was supposed to be a rose, but I kind of remembered this thing that used to blow up when I was a teenager, which was a heart-shaped flower, like a heart-shaped flower with 2 leaves, so I thought that would be quite cute to put in. So now I'm just gonna peel off the tape. It is finished. So I hope you like this painting. I could have practiced a bit more on my voiceovers because usually I'm just like ranting on some like different topic in the introduction. But it's actually very difficult to drag on for 5 minutes. But anyway, I hope you like this super cute painting. And then look out for the next video. And I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.